listen to me. Thank you so much for watching this. You have no idea how influential you are. Now, this is for those who want and who can do more. You have options in the description below. Pick the one that fits you best. May I just suggest the membership program? Why? Because it is the easiest, most financially sound way to support the channel without thinking so hard. But understand that by you watching from start to finish, pushes the algorithm forward and also helps me out a ton. I'm trying to do these things in less than 30 seconds. Mr. Kohberger has been indicted by a grand jury. Pretty much a group of people have looked at the evidence and suggest that, yeah, there's enough there to make a conviction. Now listen, I've told you 1,000 million times. That little piece of DNA, honey, you have no idea. You can't even commit a crime these days without, like, nope. Look, Chandler Hallison, he didn't make it. Sarah Boone, she's not going to make it. And who do you think you are, Mr. Berger? You think you're going to make it out of this unscathed? All right, let's talk about it. Look, for those who are new here, I'm Alistair Indicted. This is just my point of view. So please get these two sticks out of your arse. Gotcha, YouTube, gotcha. Let's listen to this.
More breaking news at this hour. A grand jury we've learned has indicted Bryan Kohberger. He's the suspect in the Idaho quadruple stabbings. What this means is the grand jury reviewed some evidence and testimony and found enough evidence to indict. Want to bring in News Nation national correspondent Brian Enton now. Brian, this just happening overnight. What more are you hearing about what led up to it and what this means for his case?
Yeah, this is a big deal, Marnie. This means that behind the scenes, a secret grand jury has been convening for quite some time, going over all of the evidence in the Kohberger case presented to them by the prosecution, and they have decided to indict him on the charges with the murders connected to the 4 victims in Moscow, Idaho. This was first reported overnight by News Nation's Ashley Banfield. We were all anticipating this preliminary hearing that was going to be coming up next month, where we were expecting to hear from witnesses and a lot more information. That preliminary hearing will now not be happening, Marnie. Basically, this official indictment by the grand jury replaces the preliminary hearing. So now there is no need for the preliminary hearing. The grand jury, which is a group of members of the community, just like you'd see for a jury with a trial, they met in secret. The prosecution presented them with the evidence they have. They're also required, I believe, to present them with any exculpatory evidence. Sometimes witnesses, like detectives, will also testify to a grand jury. So it's quite a process. Presented them with all of that, and they voted to officially indict Bryan Kohberger. It doesn't mean that he's guilty. It just means that the charges will stand, and that the case will move forward and that there won't be a need for a preliminary hearing. We believe that Bryan Kohberger will appear in court on Monday in Moscow, Idaho, and that is when he will officially have to enter a plea of guilty or not guilty. Marnie?
And what, if anything, Brian, are you hearing from the attorneys representing Kohberger?
So we are not hearing from them at this point. I think this is probably just becoming news to them, too, because really all of this broke overnight. I mean, again, everyone involved in the case seemed to be anticipating this preliminary hearing. Everyone was preparing for it. We saw subpoenas, and we knew that a lot was happening behind the scenes. But there was sort of this thought that the secret grand jury could be meeting and just no one knew about it because they meet in secret. No one knows except for the prosecution, and that is indeed what was happening. So I think all of this is just trickling out to the parties today. We haven't heard from the Kohberger side at this point.
And in terms of the evidence that the prosecution shared with the grand jury, any of that evidence yet made public, or is that also still secret, some of the evidence that they have?
Yeah, it is still secret, and it will remain secret. The transcript will remain secret to us, at least for now. I believe the defense will likely get it at some point. I'm not sure exactly what the law is in Idaho, but it's a secret process. We don't know what the grand jury was told by the prosecution, who may have testified. All of that remains secret. Likely today, the indictment will be unsealed, though. It won't have a lot of information about exactly what the grand jury heard, but it will basically clarify that, yes, he has been indicted by the grand jury. It'll lay out all the murder charges, and then we'll learn about the hearing that we have learned through Ashley Banfield sourcing that will be on Monday.
And Brian, how will this impact the timeline of the trial? I know the trial date had been pushed back. When are we hearing that would maybe get underway?
Yeah, that's a good question. Again, that still hasn't been laid out. The feeling is, I mean, this trial could be a ways off. I mean, there's still a lot of behind the scenes back and forth as the defense tries to get a lot of discovery in the case, all of the evidence in the case. There is a tremendous amount of evidence in this case, photos and digital evidence and interviews that were conducted that the defense is still trying to get their hands on and go over. So the trial is a long way out. What's interesting, though, is we had such a focus on this preliminary hearing coming up at the end of June, Marnie. We were expecting to learn a lot more. There were going to be witnesses that testified. You remember the story about they were trying to get Bethany Funk in to testify, one of the surviving roommates. We were expecting to learn a lot more at that hearing. That was going to be a big development. It was going to be public, which was a big deal because so much of this all has been secret because of the gag order. That preliminary hearing now does not happen. So what I think is this means that we're going to, not have a lot of information for a long time as they continue to go over all the evidence behind the scenes.
Yeah. So two things to take away from this small little segment. The media is going to be crying and doing cartwheels and backflips and where's the news? Where's the news? I told you guys, right? So the gag order was put in place and every news station went up and down trying to lift this gag order. And it's like, it was really pointless because they were only going to make a decision probably after the old scheduled preliminary trial. So it was pointless. It was pointless gesticulation. But that's not even the story. Now, in this little segment, you may have heard the word his lawyers. So Mr. Kohberger hired another lawyer. He hired another lawyer on our tax dollars. And this is where, guys, educate me because you're smarter than me. I thought, how does that work? What do you mean he hired another lawyer? I thought that public defender office, she has an assistant. They have everything they need. What is this thing he just casually hires another lawyer? This is great. I mean, for him, terrible for us. So you mean to tell me I can just hire anybody I want? Perfect. I don't know who I'm going to hire, but I thought that was very, 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 very tacky. And just very tacky and very abusive. Anyway. Ooh, the prosecution. Listen. And this is the thing I say also about lawyers. There's 9 out of 10, they're smart. They know what the hell they're doing. Especially lawyers at that level. That is such a checkmate move from the prosecution. For me, it really shows me that there's the behind the scene action. It is real. Even though there's no noise about this thing, no, they are moving as fast as they could. They are moving as fast as possible. They are on the ball with this burger monster. They really are. And I have no doubt, I have full confidence this prosecution is going to deliver. Do you understand what I'm trying to say? Now, that Bethany Funk situation, Kohberger was saying she has all the evidence that's going to exonerate me. That's going to be like, see, I told you I'm innocent. I don't know what she's going to say. And Bethany Funk said, yeah, I'll speak. I don't know what you're going to say, Bethany. What are you going to say, Bethany? That you were having a good time in the bedroom with him? I don't understand. What can you possibly have that's going to exonerate him from the DNA of the knife sheath found upstairs in the bedroom of the victim? I don't get it. Unless, Bethany, you're the one who took the knife with some gloves. Bethany pulled a movie scene. Do you know what I mean? Unless it's you, Bethany. I don't know. I don't understand. I don't understand. Side note. Okay, there's this show I used to watch when I was younger and stupid. It's called Bad Girls Club. Now, you might know what it is. I can control my laughter. And there's this girl. I'm going to find it somewhere in the editing. And she is, first of all the girls are like, they F you up. I couldn't be in the house. Please don't touch me. But nice to watch. And there was one episode where she couldn't understand. And she has the I don't understand dance. Like, I don't understand. I don't understand, bitch. I'm going to find it in the editing and put it up. This is the editing segment. I don't understand. Yeah. Okay, next segment. That was a good laugh. Where are you going with your thoughts? Where are you going with your thoughts? I mentioned to you earlier that Kohberger has a new lawyer in his defense team, so it's no longer the lawyer with the blonde hair. It's somebody else. In addition, right? So, all right, let's listen to this.
It is always better to have an extra pair of eyes when it's possible on the defense team. And in this circumstance, it's a late addition, but it's probably a smart one. It's always good to have someone who can be looking over the evidence with you when you're confronting a mountain of evidence like this case presents.
Okay, let's talk about that new defense attorney. Her name is Alyssa Massoth. She claims to be one of the top criminal defense lawyers in Idaho. Have you heard of her? Have you seen her work? What's her specialty?
I have not seen her work personally, but I have heard that her reputation is excellent. I've heard that she is certified to handle even cases that could result in the death penalty. So she is not going to be shy about opposing the might of the government, as other lawyers have said about her. And she is familiar with what to do to file the necessary motions to make sure that evidence that should not come into trial doesn't, and that evidence that should is admitted. So she is up to the task from all that I have heard about her reputation.
Okay, let's talk about what up to the task means. Do you think she came in to get the death penalty off the table? I mean, that's really what is, the kind of, how should I say, victory for someone like this. And all criminal defense attorneys, they want to get that off the table. They want to spare the defendant's life. Is that what's going on here?
That could be part of it. On the other hand, too, when someone is death penalty certified, they have some additional experience in handling cases where the death penalty could be an option. And this is critical because there are things that are different about a trial that involves seeking the death penalty. And those can include everything from the way evidence is introduced to types of evidence that are introduced, and ultimately to the instructions that a jury who will consider what to do in a case of this nature will decide. And so it is important to have somebody with that specialized expertise on your team if that is an option that the state is pursuing.
Okay, and to that effect, though, is the state trying to preempt what they see could be a lengthy appeals process with her coming into the mix here?
Well, it's anytime you have the death penalty on the table, you are going to be looking at a very expensive and lengthy appeals process. It is really a very difficult, if not impossible, thing for someone who has received the death penalty to just drop appeals, for example. There will be an appeal if that's what happens in this case, and it will be protracted, and it will go not only to state court, but ultimately up for federal court consideration at some point in a post-conviction process. So anytime the death penalty is on the table, it is impossible for the state to avoid a very costly and lengthy appellate battle if that is what is achieved.
So this really plays into what I mentioned to you in one of the videos I've said in regards to tax dollars, but also plays into, listen, lawyers are people with water bills, rent, mortgages, vacations, children, aspiration, dreams, investments. I mean, these are regular people like me and you. And you cannot fault them. You can't fault them for jumping onto an opportunity. I give you an example. This lawyer lady, I forgot her name, but now everybody's going to know who she is. She is the best death penalty certified lawyer. Really? I didn't know. Maybe among the lawyer circles, but now, she will be notorious for being the one on the Bryan Kohberger case and enjoying money from tax dollars. If Kohberger, regular attorney, gets paid about $300,000 per year, and that's not even counting overtime, how much do you think the expert in death penalty situation will get paid? You think the expert is going to ask $300K per year? No, darling. She is death penalty certified, the top prosecutor in the state. No, at least $1 million a year. But we have to foot the bill. Do you understand this? Do you understand this? And let me tell you something, guys. I don't fault the lawyers for harping on a good meal. We all have bills to pay, and we all have retirement to plan. I don't fault them for that. Do I question them from defending something the indefensible? No, I really don't, because we all have bills to pay. We all have kids to raise. No, I really don't. My only thing is that, you know, we definitely, like, I think the system should be, that's a loophole that should be fixed. Do you understand what I'm saying? Don't hit the player, hit the game. I'm not hitting on the player. I'm hitting on the game. And the game is like, oh my God, you're broke. You have no money. Unlimited funds for you, for your defense. No, and no. Because if it was me and you, we don't qualify to be that broke. And we won't be able to afford a lawyer like them to. So we will go to jail, and maybe worse yet, death penalty. If it was me and you. No, he enjoys the fruit of the labors of our tax dollars. I say that a lot, right? I do say that a lot, but it's because I pay a lot in taxes. But it's because if you follow the money, it always ends up in a pit. And some people could use that money better than others. And I find it such a squandering waste. Such a squandering waste. And there's smart people. Look, that's not even about this video. But anyway, my whole point is that, no, he hired this second lawyer because he doesn't want to die. He doesn't want to die. The narcissist that wants to die, name me one. Name me one. Even Miss Lori over there, Lori Valodebel, she doesn't want to die. No, she's like, no, don't kill me. Don't kill me. No, she doesn't want to die. She doesn't want to die. They don't want to die. So he's like, oh my God, 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 I've been indicted. Oh my God. Okay, look, blonde lawyer. Listen to me, blonde lawyer. I just flicked my hair. Do you see that? Whatever. Listen to me, blonde lawyer. Have a seat. Let me ask you a question. Am I going to die? Yeah, maybe. Yeah, these prosecutors, you know, they're on the ball. They might go after you and everything you own, including your life. Okay, prosecutor, how do I survive? How do I survive? All right, I have a friend. Her name is, I forgot her name. And then, you know, yeah, she's going to help us out. Yeah. Lawyers are a small community. They all know one another. And this is like a good meal. Kohberger is a good meal. It's a good burger with extra sauce and tax dollar salt. So, yeah, she's like, come on, girl, let's eat a little bit of this burger. And it's like, okay, I could use a couple more $500,000 a year. Why not? It's free money. I can charge up the wazoo. Yeah. Yeah. It's an open checkbook. Unquestioned funds. Darn it. American dollars are good. They are good. On another side note, so many side notes today. Another side note, you know, I have family in Africa. And they are so quick to judge us Americans. I'm naturalized. Actually, I have multiple nationalities. But anyway, I'm American. So quick to judge us and the way of life and blame us for, you know, the world's problem. But do you know how many times they've tried to come to the U.S. through the immigration situation? More than 10 times. And I always laugh. I'm like, oh, you don't like us, but you're sitting there in queue to come here. Stoops. Anyway. Next segment. I'm happy today. Now, listen. Just wait till the Let's Talk. I'll tell you more about that. There is one person in my book who is not having a good day. And that is her. You don't understand. You don't understand. Oops, spit. You don't understand. You don't understand. Because I've been following her little escapade. Not escapade. Get your mouth out of the gutter. Her escapades with the law. You know she's representing herself, right? And Rebecca Scottfield is suing her for a poop ton of money. And she's representing herself and she's like, oh my God, oh my God. What's the first thing she did? What's the first thing she complained? Don't we have experience with this man, with Daddy Bailiff? She's complaining about jurisdiction. Subject matter jurisdiction. Now look. Listen to this little girl
So I'm trying my best not to judge the people in the comments giving out misinformation like this, because I literally had to read U.S. Code, read federal rules of civil procedure, etc., law firms and advice and articles so that I can understand. But it really didn't take much for me to understand this portion. I am not refuting the jurisdiction, which is a federal court, and diversity of citizenship, which means that people from 2 different states, the federal courts will hear it, and they claim the amount is over $75,000 in damages, but I don't know about that, but I still didn't refute that. What I did refute was just the other portion of that, which is venue. Even if it's in a federal court, you're typically supposed to sue the person that you want to sue in their jurisdiction, in their district, in their county where the laws apply to them. And it's defendant-based or event-based. It's really not hard to understand.
Ashley! Now, I'll be the first one to tell you, I'm not a lawyer, obviously, and I don't play with the law and prison and hospitals. I prefer to have someone who are professionals to handle these for me, because I will make 1,000 mistakes. From my experience, unless you specify, I don't know, unless you say specifically in a piece of paper, if you want to sue me, you got to sue me in this location. I think it's fair game. I think it's fair game. Now, in my companies, there's in the contracts I make, there is a line that says, if you're going to sue me, honey, I'm not going to California. No, you come here. If you're going to sue me, you come right down the street. I tell you exactly where to sue me. Please, that's the lawyer. That's what he did. That's what he did. You know what I mean? So, but I remember when we were drawing the contracts and we had a conversation, he's like, no, these contracts this is poopy contract. No, you're going to get sued one day. It's not a matter of when, it's if. But you don't want to travel to Bali, go to court, because honey, you put in your contracts, if they want to have mitigation, this is where they need to go. So I don't know how it works for non-LLCs or like single person or whatever, but for what I understand, unless it's specified. But look, that's not even the point. The point is, and the real issue here is that Rebecca Scofield got a lawyer, my dear. And it's the lawyer who sued you. It's not Rebecca Scofield. So I'm sure the lawyer knows more than you, Ashley.
And y'all need to stop asking me about this lawsuit. It should not even have been allowed. First of all, for multiple reasons. But for the legal reason was because it's the improper venue. Like anybody with a little bit of sense knows, I'm not an Idaho resident, so I should not be sued in the District of Idaho federal courts. Then they got the nerve to not allow pro se clients to e-file. Meanwhile, so her attorneys are e-filing documents. If I want to file a document, I got to fly to Idaho or mail it in and hope they get it. First of all, there needs to be some type of system that automatically declines lawsuits that are frivolous. Why would you sue a Texas resident in Idaho? It makes no sense. And they knew that with their over 20 years of experience practicing law. So I will file this motion to dismiss or whatever it is that I need to file, but I shouldn't have to do it. It should have automatically been rejected for improper venue. It's not fair and it's not cool. At this point, I don't want to help anybody do anything else. I will do what I'm legally obligated to do, file whatever motions I need to file. I will post the details of everything I uncovered when I was writing 40 freaking pages to an answer and counterclaim that I have to do over anyway. But I will share those details. After that, I don't want to help anybody do nothing. My aunt, I helped her, and that burned me. I tried to help even Metro Greenway and tell them what was going on, but maybe all of them are a part of this scheme. They ignored me and further damaged my record. I tried to help the police and everyone find out what happened to the 4 University of Idaho students, and I was destroyed in the media. I need to focus on myself and be selfish for a very long time. I don't want to help nobody else do nothing. I have a lot of bitterness and hate to overcome.
So there's a few things here that she said that's true, and I'm going to tell you what I believe is that in order to help someone, you need to be selfish. You need to stand on your own 2 feet. You cannot help anyone if you are not okay. So That's why it's important to always say no, think about it, and then come back and say yes. Yes. I just read a text. I'm distracted. I'm not distracted. I'm paying attention. I'm just happy. Anyway, so no, I showed you this video because, you know, she's representing herself and she has no idea how the law works. And she has now filed proper motion. She was late. She has no idea how the court stuff works. She tried to put up a defense, but there was no defense to put up because she was late at filing anything. That's like crisis, honey. It's a major crisis. It's a little bit on the spectrum of sad because, oh, please, by the way, some people are like, no, she's bipolar. No, she's not. She's not. She's not. She's not. No, she's fully well aware of pure what she's doing. It's this. It's a narcissistic situation where she cannot admit that she messed up because all of that could have been gone away if she had said allegedly. Because she is meeting and facing the problem head on. I mean, she understands very well the consequences. Someone who is not well up here would do it without thinking of the consequences. She's very well aware. Look, she's so aware of the consequences that she is defending herself. And then I'm really like, okay, well, you know, lawyers cannot be that expensive, right? They can work with you. Lawyers got bills to pay too. You'll find someone there to get a couple dollars. No, I genuinely think she doesn't have the funds. Well, public defender, you might ask. I don't know. I don't know the law that hard. But listen. What I said that right? All right, okay. Listen to this.
Also, what's really irritating, now I got a damn cold, babe. What's real irritating about this eviction is I was so kind to them. Like, I could have reported them for federal fraud, misuse of funds, stealing, bribery of judges, obstruction of justice, so many different things. I could have reported them for all the things that they've done, all the violations. I could have sued them in federal court, but I gave them an opportunity to just fix what they did to me and for me to turn a blind eye and walk away. Because for them to be held accountable for what they did to everyone, it would have to be like some type of class action lawsuit. I didn't do any of that. I gave them an opportunity to fix it. And instead of being fixed, they ignored me and treated me like a piece of shit and further defamed and damaged my record.
So, yeah, apparently that she's renting this space. I don't want to go too much into details, but the long story short is that she's being evicted. Now, I have experience with evictions, and you know, it's a process. In other words, it's a very long process. Even over there in Texas, which is very landlord friendly, it's still pretty long, ish, at least 30 days long. And no, she didn't pay her bills. She didn't pay her rent. It doesn't have to be her rent. She didn't pay whatever bill. And the notoriety, she's become too notorious for the landlord to not pay close attention. She obviously she didn't have the funds. She didn't have the funds to talk so reckless. She didn't have the funds to be that. She had too much to lose. That's what I'm trying to say. She had too much to lose. And that's why she didn't hire a lawyer. That's why she's trying to do it herself, because she ain't got no money. She ain't got no money to do this. Now, now listen. It's actually quite sad. Now that I'm processing this, it's actually quite sad because she has a kid. But listen, you know, when you make a decision, you have to live with the consequences. You know, when my daughter was sick, I had to deal with consequences when I came back home, and it wasn't pretty. I had to apologize, and I had to, you know, almost beg for stuff to go back to normal. But yeah, yeah, consequences because things burned. I had yes. So my whole thing is that as she doesn't have the money, and actually is too prideful to even accept the fact that she may be on subsidized housing. She may be in a situation where she doesn't have any funds. So there's a level of pride-ness to be like, oh my God, I overstepped my boundaries. Okay, sorry. There's a level of pride-ness, something that is preventing her from just being a decent human being. And even in this video right there, when she's like, the landlord apparently is defaming her character, that's slander, actually. That's slander. You know why it becomes slander? Because she's too notorious now. Too many eyeballs are watching. It's no longer one person talking to one person. Therefore, your statement can quickly rise to slander. So, Rebecca Scottfield is not going to get her money. But you know what's going to happen? Rebecca Scottfield is going to docket her. In other words, she's going to garnish your wages. You're going to have to pay Rebecca Scottfield for the rest of your life. Because $75,000 is not a small amount. It is not a small amount. If they put lawyer fees on top of that, $75,000, no, you're going to be working, and every month a check will go to Rebecca Scottfield, and it will learn your lesson. Now that I think about it, because I was going to follow this story, you know, in the background, like I just lost interest. I'm no longer interested, just by the simple fact that it's not even fun anymore. It's not even fun anymore. Like, it's not, that's it. I don't have no more joy out of this. Look, everything just disappeared. Okay, I'm done. Let's go to my final thought. I'm laughing at the fact that I was just literally interested into the situation like seconds ago, into Ashley Gillard, and then all of a sudden I'm not. And it's so hilarious because I just saw the eviction situation and my brain got so disinterested and I just moved on. That's how quick I move on. Anyway, listen to me. Forget about the final thought with Kohberger. We all know what the deal is. We know what the deal is. We know. You're still confused? Okay. I hope you're not offended, new people. Don't be offended. What? Life is too hard. Have a laugh. Listen to me. I've been working on this project with Beefy Has Anxiety, and I think I told you that already. And he came on the channel and we had a time together, and I mean, that's how I felt, but apparently he felt the same way too. Good chemistry and great conversation, and I've been speaking with him behind the scene a lot, and good laughter, and you know what? It was his idea, but to have a podcast, and I was like, absolutely, I think it's great, I think it's amazing. So we have a podcast, and it's launching on Sunday. Now, we had to do it separately from our own channels. The reason why is it has everything to do with the big boy. The big boy, his name starts with a Y, ends with an E. Wink, 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 right? Long story short, I don't want to bore you, but a Big Papa was not going to be happy. So we had to do it completely separately. We couldn't make an extension of anything. So it's gonna go live. You can hear us on Spotify. And what are we gonna talk about? True crime. Listen, I didn't even know Beefy had that skill. The way Beefy describes the true crime is magic, because I mean, at least to me, I feel so immersed. And when he takes over that segment, I'm like this. Oh, wow! How scary! Oh my God! Unbelievable. Unbelievable. We laugh a lot. We laugh a lot because, you know, I'm an idiot. We laugh a lot. And so it's a little bit of a magic. It's a little magical. And so I definitely want you guys to check it out. But we also talk about other stuff. Did you see that? Another spit globule. It's okay. You never spoken and spat before? Please. The coffee is great. I know I look a little tired. No, this is allergies. This is allergies. This is allergies. I've tried today not to take my medicine to see if I was going to be like, okay, are the trees done having sex yet? No, they're still banging. So no, I'm going back on the meds tomorrow. Yeah. Enough with this pollen. Enough. Anyway, back to the podcast. So the podcast is called Boîte Noire. Boîte Noire. Boîte Noire. Boîte Noire. Black Box Radio. It's Boîte Noire Radio. And the name came about because the original name was Black Box Radio. And, you know, why? Because it has to do with the airplane. You know, like the black box of an airplane. So an airplane flies. crashes to the ground, everything burns, but the black box, and then you can never get the black box. So when you do find the black box, when you hear the recording, it's literally chaos. It's like mayhem. That's what it is, because when we're talking, it's a mess. It's a complete effing mess. After the true crime segment, because that's Beefy segment, then it's mine. Honey, I'm a mess. I'm a control mess. So it's just a whole bunch of stuff. It's full of laughter. It's completely inappropriate in a very polite way, because Big Papa is watching. So it's inappropriate-ish. Yeah, that's why it's called Black Box. Now, when we went on the situation to create Black Box, everybody has Black Box radio. I didn't know Black Box was so popular. So it was like, well, no, Black Box doesn't work. So we spent a good 2 hours being like, what are we going to call ourselves? What are we going to call ourselves? And then I was like, you know what? I speak French. And I know nobody else thought of that. And I was right. Nobody's thought of that. So, Boîte Noire Radio. Boîte Noire Radio. Welcome to Boîte Noire Radio. Bienvenue à la radio Boîte Noire. Je suis Alistair Nzekio, and this is the Stupid Squirrel. Anyway, so look, in a very polite way. Oh, good time. So yeah, we talk a lot of poop. We talk about everything and anything. Keep an open mind. If you go and watch us be complete idiots, keep an open mind. You understand? Because we talk about politics in a very open-minded way. We talk about sex. We talk about crime, because I love true crime. We love true crime. What, those murderers? Don't you love? My favorite part about true crime is watching the interrogations. Oh, I love it, especially when you know they're guilty. I love to see like how they're like, oh, I got you. And then over time, they slowly turn into little kids. Like, oh my God, I'm going to go to jail. Yes, you are. Best part, interrogation give me life. Yeah. But no, the way Beefy does the true crime is absolutely magical. Then my segments, you know, because I'm a grown up, right? I mean that in a very polite way. No, what I mean by that is that, you know, even though I like to be I have grown up responsibilities. I got to pay attention. I had to pay attention to the politics, because politics is how you make your money, my dears. If politics sucks, you might not make money. And if you don't make money, I can't pay my bills. So I have to pay attention to the politics of the world. So yeah, politics, I have to listen to the news, local news. Like, you know, I have to do grown up things, even though what I want to do is play games all day and eat pizza and do cartwheels. No, I got responsibilities, and part of that is to be aware of my surroundings. So, you know, I bring a little bit of that, you know what I'm saying? Yeah, so we talk about politics, we talk about anything and everything, and we'll keep an open mind, because I say no a lot, and I disagree a lot. And and a lot of times when someone says no to you, it's a natural reaction to cut them off. No. Why? Because we don't agree on one thing. There's many facades to people, right? Some people like to ride horses, but they don't like to drink water. True story. I'm not even making this up. I know someone like that. I'm like, what? It's completely ridiculous. But am I not going to be friends with her because she only drinks orange juice and ride horses? Completely ridiculous, right? You know what I mean? I said that very nervously, but I was very honest with myself. I went in there and I spoke in the podcast with what I wanted to say, and me and Beefy had a great conversation. It's funny. The last post we did, he said we're gonna get some backlash for this. I said yes, we are. Oh, honey, we are gonna get backlash, but it's okay. You know why? Do you know why it's okay? Because I cannot be anybody else but me. I can't be anyone else but me. Like, if by this point you don't like me, of course I'd be sad, but I will move on, because I can't be anybody else. I can't be anybody else. Who am I gonna be? Who am I gonna be? Jeff Bezos? Oh, honey, I wish I could use a couple billions. But who else am I gonna be? Right? 16-year-old again? No, my 16s were not great. My best year. You know what? This final thought is gonna go into less talk, because I'm just talking. My best years of my life, 22. 22 going to 23, honey, I was on top of the world. Because I was making $85,000 a year. I graduated college and I got the job like that. And it was the most money I ever made in my life. I was like, oh my God, I'm rich. I'm rich. Please, 22-year-old with that kind of money in New York City. Honey, I was having a good old time. Good old time. Good old time. It was great. Best time of my life. And then I got taken off the market very shortly after that. I couldn't enjoy all the way. No, it's okay. I enjoyed enough. Okay. So there's no less talk. Look. How are you? Are you doing okay? Oh, please, I haven't slept. What? Sleeping? What is that? No, my kid is doing good. What else? Yeah, my dog's not doing well. She's going to expire pretty soon. It's okay. I'm emotionally and mentally prepared for that. What else? You know what? I want to have a drink, but I can't. I have a baby. I need to be present. I need to be present. My mom was here to help me out emotionally with the situation last weekend. So she just left. Yeah, she left. And I said, oh my God, I want a drink. She's like, no. Not that you can't, but she's like, it wouldn't be helpful because alcohol is a depressant. She's like, if you drink, you might be happy now, but you'll feel very depressed later. So it might make you think worse. I was like, oh my God, mother, you're so right. God, stop being a mother. I have not slept. I had 3 hours of sleep today. And the reason why is because I had to catch up on work. No, you don't understand. Did I shower today? I didn't, but I still smell like a man. I still smell good. Like a man. Yeah, I smell good. Like, if you were next to me, you'd be like, yeah, you smell fine. Yeah. No BO. No. Like, I smell like skin. Like a man's skin. Yeah. So, no, but I did not shower today. No. I got off the bed. The kid went to daycare. And, oh, wow, so I got really tired. No, and then came back. Work. I see you doing work. I see you doing work. And I came down here. I'm filming this. I'm going to go upstairs. I'm going to record everything. I'm going to edit everything, post it, schedule it, and then, pick up the baby at 4. Yeah, pick up the baby at 4. You should see how we walked to the daycare. They were like, hello! They were extra nice. Hi! It's so funny. I always want to be like, you don't have to be like over the top. It's okay. We had a little tiff. We found a resolution. We're moving forward. It's okay. You can be yourself. No, over the top. It's so funny. I can be pretty scary. Yeah, I can. I can. When I'm being serious, I'm serious. Oh, yeah. I can be pretty scary. Which is really so ironic because after I cool off, I'm like, oh my God, I'm not even interested anymore. Yeah, like all I need is just to cool off. If you catch me on my cooling down, you might be in trouble. Just wait. Just disappear and come back when I'm cooled off. And then it's like, what happened? Nothing. Yeah, everything's fine. Truth be told, nothing really bothers me. The only thing that bothers me is if you mess with if you interfere with my ability to make money, because that's how I feed myself, my daughter, my retirement, and my future self. That will trigger a response from me. If you interfere with my sense of safety, if I have to run away because you're going to assault me, no, you will get a response from me, Yeah, and if you interfere with my family, yeah, you will get an instant response. Like that's like knee-jerk reactions, and And I tend to go extreme. I tend to go very extreme. And sometimes, you know, I tell you all the time, Christopher has the ability to reel me in, but, you know, I'm my own person. I listen to him a lot. I value the way he says a lot. But if the emotion is too high, honey, what is he gonna do? Yeah. Stop, Alistair, stop. No. What is he gonna do? Yeah, exactly. You know? So he does his best. But I'm also reasonable. I'm reasonable because I could be really hot. And then a simple conversation. I'm like, oh, okay, well, I'm done. I'm cooled off. A simple conversation. Yeah, I guess I am bipolar. It's like, whoop, 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 whoop. Anyway, it doesn't matter. Gotta go. Bye. Love you so much for watching. Oh, Kohberger. Oh, Ashley. Oh, you all. Goodbye.